All right, I got a question here from Jacob. Dan, is the Pro designed for more of a classic style golf swing, more like Bobby Jones or Payne Stewart or Tom Watson, or a modern golf swing, as I assume would be the finisher of that question? Well, here you go. I'm going to say that it is actually developed for your own golf motion relative to the acceleration of gravity and the way that you move naturally. So it is developed for everybody to find their own golf motion. The style in which Tom Watson swings a club and Payne Stewart and Bobby Jones, well, there is a lot of imitation in golf motions, and it's just some of it does actually not promote the functionality of the best motions. I would argue that all of those guys had movement patterns that actually allowed them to hit it a certain way and a certain ball flight, but maybe wasn't the most optimal for creating the most amount of speed. Generally, something that's going faster, in fact, for sure, is going to have the least amount of friction and the most amount of rotation and the most amount of understanding that the golf motion must expand from the center outward to the surface in the direction of the ball as fast as possible. So the Pro is designed for actually the most efficient possible type of motion. Now, at the end of the day, that motion may not look like exactly how most people use their golf club. And that's because the golf club has a rigid shaft and you have a body that reacts to rigidity. And the trick is, a great player has learned how to remove the worst parts that tend to be manipulated, and maybe only has slight manipulations relative to the ball flights they want to create. And then that would shape the way that their body actually looks through impact. So just for kind of an example there, if I'm using the best possible type of movement, you're going to see that my sacrum is moving backwards as this is going, and everybody goes, oh, you're hitting off your right foot. No, I'm actually just allowing my most natural reach to happen. Why don't I do that with a golf club? Well, A, it's rigid, A, it's got mass on it, but the closer I get to that idea, actually the more naturally I am moving. And you'll notice that there's a lot of swing styles out there that are very much into this type of movement, which I would argue is an unlocked way to let the body really accelerate itself. You see, the swing can't go faster if you're trying to apply something to the golf club. So for all the moments you try to apply energy to the golf club, it applies an energy back in your body. You're stalled, you're stuck. Using the Pro is the understanding of, I'm eliminating all of those things. Well, how do I know I've done that? Well, the Pro stays in a perfect alignment. So I'm not getting the Pro straight, which is the optimal idea, by pulling on it. I'm actually understanding how my body responds with gravity and how it naturally creates an arcing, rotating movement in a spiral that supports and allows the mass of this to extend. And it's working with gravity, no longer fighting it. Anytime you put a force, you're actually opposing gravity, you're going faster than gravity, and it makes you feel off balance, so it doesn't work. So the Pro, literally, again, it is for everybody that wants to understand exactly how the most efficient movement works. And once you understand how the most efficient movement works, well then, how you apply that to your golf motion, well, that's your own how, that's your own thing. So the Pro gives you the what, and then if that ends up looking like Tom Watson, well, so be it. Because there's a lot of things that Tom Watson does that respect the Pro, for sure. But there's probably some things in there that he does that are a little bit extra, that are unique to him. And we could say that about any golfer. Like for sure, Scottie Scheffler would be one of those people who have a wonderful golf swing and plays an incredible amount of golf. But we could definitely argue a lot of the things that kind of happen, well, there's some extra going in there. But he knows his extra and he manages it very well. And he's a great player. All right, hopefully that helps. Thanks.